certainly arched a few eyebrows, our sort of interpretation of it. You know, we knew what we were doing, but the thing is as yourself being a Batman fan, you're fully aware there's 76 years of the mythology, of the canon of what Batman's been up to, and also so many different interpretations. But the point of our show is seeing them at a time that they've never been seen before. And I think the first sort of line that you sort of see Alfred with young David when he was that big, gosh, he's grown, isn't he? Is that he says, you know, which I improvised anyway, which I say, you know, don't let me see you cry, keep your head up. And people were quite horrified because they'd never seen this version of, and the whole idea was, and it's been a fascinating process, the evolution of our Alfred and the acceptance of the audience towards our Alfred and the Bruce relationship. Because it's the way that Bruno and our showrunners write, it's the evolution of those characters. They don't, you know, we know where they end up. It's how they get there is the interesting thing. And there's so much now that I think that the legions of Batman fans now accept about our show. In fact, that we're in a way influencing now the way that people perceive our characters, because no one had seen Alfred. He never asked to be a father, for example. His parenting skills are bloody awful. You know, but you see how they connect for the first time is when he takes him to see Tommy Elliot. So in a way they connect through dysfunction, through violence in a way, by standing up for himself and beating the bully down. And that's the first real connection they have. And you suddenly realise how important that moment was, because it was actually the germination of the seed that is Batman. So, you know, I could see where as we developed, as we've gone forward, from butting heads to acceptance to fighting to where we're at. And there was a wonderful scene in the last episode with Jerome. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but where he says the immortal line, you know, I will not kill. And Alfred says, say it again. He says, I will not kill. And that, and everyone, you could hear him pin drop. But that was a big moment for us and for the fans, because it was the first realization that this boy is going to become the man. What I loved about the Michael Gough interpretation with Keaton was that it's a real mash-up for me for the blue-collar aspect, which of course I am, because I'm SAS and I'm a blue-collar man. I'm from the flats and from the projects that's in America. Is a mash-up between the salt of the earth element of Michael Caine and of Michael Gough's genuine love. You see that when I re-looked at because Robin Lord Taylor, I think's favourite film is the Keaton years. And when I re-looked at them recently, because you try not to get influenced and you accept a job, was the ease of those guys when they are just alone together, when they're in a room. There's a real sort of sense of genuine sort of love and acceptance. They're just easy around each other. And I'm proud to say I think that we've achieved that now, and people accept that. The fact that he loosens his tie, that when no one's around, and the way they talk to each other, there isn't that formality has crumbled. They still, which again is that thing of being the Caped Crusader, of the art of concealment, is that the minute they're out in public, they showboat that style again, which is the Richie Rich idea of I'm the spoilt brat. So they're doing it. So that's why that idea developed. So I'd love to say that it's all down to myself and to David. You know, it's the brilliance of our writers, and Bruno Heller and Danny Cannon and John Stevens and the rest of our, and Ken and all of our writers, is that we always think, being actors, that it's us. It's a very sort of brilliant guiding hand pushing us into the direction they want us to go. You know what I mean? So, you know, we go, I'm brilliant, I got there on, no, it's really down to Bruno and Danny and John. You know. It's the idea of the show, and it was the courage of our show, our writer, the idea, the premise of show. You know, for the supervillains to exist, Gotham has to reach the bottom of the barrel. So Phoenix, like from the ashes, rides as the Caped Crusader. Gotham has got to get to a very bad place, because Batman, if you think about it, is the original superhero. they start wearing costumes, and all that costume stuff starts to happen later on to combat the idea of someone putting a mask on and being the Cape Crusader. So it's a long way to go. So we know where they end up, these characters, but the interesting thing now, and the brilliance of again our writers and our actors, I have to say, is seeing them, how they get there. The fact that Robin Lord Taylor, who deserves an Oscar if they exist for TV, an Emmy in my opinion, as does Corey Michael Smith, and all of them, Bullock and and Donald and Ben and everyone, is seeing how, don't push, be kind to the people sitting next to you, because you could create a Riddler, you could create an Edward Nygma. Don't bully the poor weak child that is Oswald Cobblepot. Don't bully him too much. He might snap and stab you in the neck. And that's what they're saying in this show. It's like, they're normal people that have been pushed into being bullied and poked and prodded and slapped and beat down. And what do you expect? People snap. And that's what I love. It's for the studios, for Warner's and for Fox, to allow us to turn it from a procedural to a drama, and for yourself to say flattering things like that, sort of watching the characters develop and having the courage to let them develop. We're not like some of the other shows which are wham bam comic book style. It is, although it be our world and slightly arched or camp, it is our world, and it is, we take it very seriously, although it is ridiculous and funny and fantastical and dangerous and all of those things. To us, it's always approached from a subtextual and a mental perspective, and that's down to, again, to our writers. It's based on realism to a certain degree. My dad was considered the action Doctor Who, and he was a very eminent and very well-known radio actor, theatre actor, vaudevillian actor. When he was offered Doctor Who, he was 53, he's a little bit older than I was, 53. And so he was considered the action doctor, and I'm considered the action butler. So there's this sort of symbiosis going here, that he was given an opportunity to reinvent a role. Not reinvent, no, redefine, actually, that's a better way of putting it. Redefine a role. This is very applicable because we're not reinventing Alfred, we're giving him subtextual, we're giving him a history. So, from an actor's perspective, it's a dream come true. I was here working with my friend Johnny Miller and the beautiful Lucy Liu on Elementary, and did one episode in London with Johnny. And then they asked me back, and then I was here, and then they asked me to read this generic piece, and kind of here I am. So it is a dream come true. It's one of those boxes that you tick as an actor. One, play Alfred. Two, I've always, like all my friends, like name drop, but like Jude and Johnny and all my mates have filmed on the streets of Manhattan. And you've got to understand, as an actor, that's just off the chart. You think you're in Scorsese movies. When you first get to Manhattan, and we're filming in Chinatown, and you're on the streets in Chinatown, you're going, shit, I'm fucking Alfred Pennyworth, and I'm in New York. Which is Gotham. I know the Chicagoans out there will say, no, Gotham is Chicago. It's not. Let's be honest, it's Manhattan. It's Manhattan. Gotham's written on everywhere. Gotham is New York. But it's just it is a dream come true. And what I love about how similar Gotham is to Manhattan is that we were filming in Chinatown, and this is how ridiculous it is in Manhattan, how what people are like. I thought London was kind of like that. Manhattan's times 100. We were walking, I was with Cameron, who plays Jerome Velasco, the proto-Joker. And he was slashed up, beaten up, stabbing his mark in his throat. I was all dishevelled with a gun holster, with a water PPK. I was with one of the hair department and props department. They had two latex severed heads to show the director. And we walked from our trailers right through Christie Street, through onto the Bowery, into the bank. And there was right through the middle of Chinatown. Not one person looked at us. Absolutely hilarious. Like, we were holding heads going, all right? That's so New York. Like, I don't care. And then I thought, that's just Gotham. That's Gotham. You know what I mean? Someone started a campaign saying "Save Sean Pertwee" on YouTube, and then they did on one magazine. They did this article saying they had a death off between me and Sean Bean. I won. I have died more times and more gruesomely than Sean Bean. You know, I've been barbecued and eaten by 1,000 savages, literally, in South Africa in Doomsday. I've been blown up. I've had my guts fall out. I've been stabbed by 15 Frenchmen. I've what else? Been blown up in a spaceship. I've been eaten by Alsatians. I killed Sean Bean. You know, it goes on. And they did this amazing list of deaths, and I beat him just by like a whisker. So suck on that, Sean.
It is quite funny because you're like.
I used to get, honestly, people used to like laugh when I got employed. Because they'd see my name come up, they go, "He's dead," and invariably I'd die. And it got to the point I started getting paranoid. I was going, guys, I've got to survive one thing. Yeah, that's what Bruno told me. Bruno said, you know, I just remember because everything's so important to us, and when you start doing a show and you're finding your feet, you can tell from the first season to the second season there's differences, and I am particularly proud of this. I'm proud of it all. But John Stevens, one of our showrunners, said to me, he said, you know, because I haven't had experience in doing 22 episodes of television, ever. I mean, it's a peculiar to our American cousins. You don't do that in England, unless you're in EastEnders, you know. He said he likened it to when you do a pilot, throwing a bowl of spaghetti at a wall and seeing what strands will stick. He said that we were kind of hoisted by our own petard because everything stuck. So there was like, you know, if you look at the cast and look how good everyone is from the pilot, they actually were like, oh, so where are we going to go with this? Because everyone was great. You know, every relationship was great, from Cat to Nigma, or to the proto-Nigma, to Nigma, to Penguin, to Fish, to Don Falcone, to Ben, to Donald. Every single element, they were like, well, where are we going to focus this on? So they went for the Fish and Penguin stuff, thank God, which was superb. And you know, we've got 76 years to draw from, so we're blessed. You know.